Hey, Raiders Nation! Today we have some major updates that could shake up the coaching landscape for our beloved Las Vegas Raiders. Things have been moving fast. And if you're following every little detail, you know the past few days have been nothing short of intense. One of the biggest headlines comes straight from the coaching carousel. Webb, the Broncos passing game coordinator, has officially withdrawn from consideration for the Raiders head coaching position. This move has a lot of fans scratching their heads and wondering what it means for the team's next step. Webb was considered a strong number 2 option, a potential leader who could have brought some fresh energy and strategic thinking to the Raiders' offense. But now the path seems even more focused on Clint Kubuk. Let's rewind a little and look at how we got here. The first Raiders interview for the head coaching job was Webb, which happened back on Wednesday, January 7th. That initial meeting set the tone for what many thought would be an intriguing candidate pool, especially since Webb has experience with multiple teams and has built a solid reputation as a quarterback coach. But as the week went on, more reports started pouring in indicating that the Raiders were going all in on Clint Kubuk. When you hear that term, all in, it sends a clear signal. The organization is betting everything on one candidate, and suddenly, that other side of the table, Webb, starts to feel like a backup plan. It's easy to imagine how frustrating that must feel for someone in his position. For Webb, the decision makes sense. Once it became clear that Kubuk was the frontrunner, and that the Raiders were leaning heavily in his direction, the likelihood of landing the top job diminished. Instead of lingering in a situation where the outcome seemed predetermined, Webb decided to focus on his career stability and opportunities elsewhere. There's speculation that he could step into the offensive coordinator role for the Broncos, which would still give him a chance to shine and build toward a head coaching role in the future. It's a move that many would see as strategic, allowing him to continue developing under a respected coaching system without being overshadowed by uncertainty. Now, let's be honest, this news has put a lot of Raiders fans on edge. The coaching search is never simple, and losing a candidate like Webb removes one more potential piece of the puzzle. However, for those of us following the process closely, Kubuk has always been the number 1 target. He brings a youthful, innovative mindset to the offensive side, and his track record speaks for itself. He's someone who has worked closely with quarterbacks at the highest levels, understands complex offensive schemes, and has the creativity needed to adapt quickly to the fast pace of the NFL. When you consider the kind of leadership the Raiders are looking for, Kubuk represents a chance to bring a fresh identity while maintaining continuity for the team's offensive core. But let's not overlook the other names still in the mix. Panthers defensive coordinator Ejiro Evero remains a candidate, presenting an interesting option because of his past ties to Denver and his in-depth offensive knowledge. There's also the connection to the McVay coaching tree that the Raiders have explored, including candidates like Mike LaFleur and others who have worked under successful head coaches in the past. The team has shown that it values experience, relationships, and the ability to develop quarterbacks, all critical factors when selecting someone to lead the franchise into the next era. The timing of these interviews and the sequence of decisions has added extra tension for fans, especially as the organization gears up to make a final call. The Raiders' search is not just about finding a coach. It's about finding a visionary who can bring energy, innovation, and long-term stability. Webb stepping away is a signal that the team is zeroing in on their preferred candidate, and that candidate is Kubuk. Fans who have been following every report and update know that this was always the most likely outcome, but seeing it unfold in real time makes the situation feel incredibly high stakes. It's been a roller coaster, with rumors and reports changing hour by hour. But the central narrative has become clear. The Raiders are ready to commit, and all eyes are on Kubuk. There's also an interesting angle when you consider how other teams are reacting to Webb's decision. The Broncos' recent moves, including potential changes to their offensive coaching staff, may have influenced Webb's choice. There's talk that he could step into a larger role in Denver, taking over more responsibilities and preparing himself for a head coaching position down the line. From a strategic standpoint, it's a win-win. He avoids a situation where he might be a second option, and he positions himself for long-term growth within a team that values his skills. For the Raiders, the focus now shifts to ensuring they make the right call with Kubuk. His offensive philosophy, quarterback development experience, and energy align with the vision Mark Davis has for the team. Still, the organization has to weigh all factors carefully. considering alternatives like Evero and other candidates who bring a mix of experience, familiarity, and potential for innovation. The next steps are critical, as the choice of head coach will shape the team's identity for years to come. It's also worth noting the emotional side of this process. For Raiders fans, the coaching search is deeply personal because it affects how the team plays, how the offense develops, and ultimately, the success of the franchise. Fans are passionate, and every report, every interview, and every update carries weight. The shift from Webb as a potential candidate to Kubuk being the clear frontrunner has caused excitement and anxiety simultaneously. People are analyzing every angle, debating every possibility, and preparing themselves for the announcement that could define the next chapter. For the Las Vegas Raiders, with Webb withdrawing, the Raiders' strategy becomes even more transparent. They are focused on a candidate who can bring energy, innovation, and strong quarterback development. Kubuk fits that profile. And while other names like Evero remain in consideration, it's clear that the franchise is aiming for a coach who can immediately impact the team's performance and long-term trajectory. This is a critical juncture, and the anticipation surrounding the announcement continues to build as fans wait to see how the next chapter unfolds. As the coaching search progresses, it's evident that the Raiders are not making decisions lightly. The organization is carefully weighing experience, vision, and chemistry with the current roster. Kubuk represents the ideal combination of youth, innovation, and quarterback expertise, making him the frontrunner in a process that is shaping the future of the franchise. Fans are watching closely, analyzing every report, and discussing every possible scenario. With Webb out of the picture, the path is clearer than ever, but the excitement and tension remain high. The landscape of coaching decisions in the NFL is dynamic, and the Raiders are at the center of it. Every choice matters, from the front office to the coaching staff, and ultimately to the players on the field. The organization's commitment to Kubuk demonstrates a desire to innovate while maintaining stability. Balancing boldness with careful planning, fans are aware of the stakes, and the energy surrounding this decision is palpable, with Davis Webb stepping aside and Kubuk emerging as the clear focus. The Raiders are poised to make a move that could define their season and shape the trajectory of the franchise for years to come. As we continue diving into the Raiders' coaching search, the focus now is squarely on understanding the full landscape of potential candidates and the strategic moves behind each consideration. With Davis Webb stepping away, it has become even more apparent that Clint Kubuk is the primary target. But the team has not closed the door on other options just yet. One name that has consistently appeared in reports is Panthers defensive coordinator Ejiro Evero. While primarily known for his defensive expertise, Evero has demonstrated an impressive understanding of offensive schemes, particularly quarterback development, which makes him an intriguing candidate. His past ties to Denver add another layer to his profile, highlighting the network of coaching relationships that influence these decisions. The Raiders have also explored candidates connected to the McVay coaching tree, including Mike LaFleur and Nate Scheelhaase. These individuals bring experience from successful systems and a track record of developing young talent. Their inclusion in the interview process underscores the Raiders' desire to find someone who can bridge innovation with reliability, creating an offense that can thrive under a quarterback like the team currently has. The timing of these interviews is crucial, as the organization has been deliberate in spacing out meetings to thoroughly evaluate each candidate, ensuring that every decision is informed by both past performance and potential future success. Mark Davis and the Raiders front office are clearly prioritizing a coach who can make an immediate impact while also laying the groundwork for long-term stability. Kubuk stands out in this regard, offering a modern offensive approach, strong leadership skills, and an ability to connect with quarterbacks at all levels of experience. His work in Seattle has shown that he can adapt complex schemes to fit the strengths of his players, a quality that the Raiders hope will translate seamlessly to their roster. Fans have been following every report closely, analyzing Kubuk's system, his past results, and his philosophy, all in anticipation of a decision that could redefine the team's identity. Despite the strong focus on Kubuk, there are still questions about the other candidates and what their presence in the process represents. Evero, for example, has impressed with his detailed offensive plans and quarterback insights, demonstrating that he could potentially lead the team in a direction that combines discipline with innovation. His defensive background also brings a unique perspective, allowing for a more holistic understanding of how to control games from both sides of the ball. This multidimensional approach could be valuable for a Raiders team that wants to compete at the highest level, making him a serious alternative if Kubuk were somehow unavailable. The connections to the McVay coaching tree also reveal the Raiders' attention to long-term planning. Coaches like LaFleur and Scheelhaase have learned under highly respected head coaches and bring knowledge of innovative offensive strategies that can be tailored to the team's strengths. These candidates may not have the same immediate name recognition as Kubuk, but they represent potential growth and adaptability, which are critical qualities for any NFL team looking to sustain success over multiple seasons. The front office's consideration of these candidates indicates a methodical approach, balancing the excitement of Kubuk's youth and creativity with the stability and experience of those who have already proven themselves in the league. Fans' emotional investment in this process cannot be overstated. The Raiders' coaching decision is not just about X's and O's on the field. It's about the vision for the franchise, the development of young talent, and the hope of building a team that can compete consistently at the highest level. Every update, every report, every rumor fuels the discussion among the fan base. The withdrawal of Webb may have caused some anxiety, but it also clarified the focus, narrowing the search to Kubuk and a few strategic alternatives who could bring different but equally valuable skill sets to the team. The ongoing uncertainty in the NFL coaching carousel makes this period particularly intense. Decisions happen quickly, and the landscape can change from one day to the next. For the Raiders, the emphasis is on ensuring the right cultural and strategic fit, prioritizing candidates who can inspire players, develop quarterbacks, and implement systems that maximize performance. Kubuk has consistently been identified as the best fit for these criteria, but the team's diligence in exploring alternatives like Evero, LaFleur, and Scheelhaase highlights a broader strategy that balances innovation with proven capability. One of the key considerations is the quarterback relationship. Kubuk's history of developing talent and implementing complex yet effective offensive schemes gives him an edge in this regard. A coach who can communicate clearly, adapt to the quarterback's strengths, and maintain consistency in the system is invaluable. That is why, despite the availability of other candidates, Kubuk remains the frontrunner. His philosophy aligns with the Raiders' vision of an aggressive, adaptable, and forward-thinking offense. For fans, this alignment brings hope that the team is on the right path, even as the decision remains pending. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers around the league have begun to grow louder, and they all point in the same direction. Amon-Ra St. Brown may be on the verge of becoming the new face of the Raiders' aerial attack. While nothing has been officially confirmed, multiple insiders suggest that negotiations between the star wide receiver and the franchise have quietly advanced, creating a wave of anticipation among fans and analysts alike. If the move materializes, it could signal a dramatic shift in the offensive identity of the team. St. Brown's potential arrival is being discussed as more than just another high-profile acquisition. Those close to this situation describe the talks as a strategic bet by the Raiders to finally unlock a consistent and explosive passing game known for his precise route running, physical strength after the catch, and relentless competitiveness. St. Brown would instantly raise the standard in a receiving corps that has searched for a true centerpiece. The rumor is that the coaching staff sees him as a tone setter, someone capable of dictating coverages and opening space for others. From a tactical standpoint, speculation suggests that the Raiders envision an offense built around timing, rhythm, and versatility. St. Brown's skill set would allow the quarterback to operate with more confidence over the middle of the field, while also stretching defenses horizontally. League executives believe this could transform the team's play calling, making the offense less predictable and far more dangerous in crucial moments. There is also a strong belief that this potential agreement goes beyond numbers and contracts. Sources hint that St. Brown is intrigued by the challenge of redefining a historic franchise hungry for offensive stability. For the Raiders, landing a receiver of his caliber would be a clear message to the rest of the league. The rebuild, if it can be called that, is entering a bold new phase. Until an official announcement arrives, everything remains in the realm of speculation. Still, the idea of Amon-Ra St. Brown in silver and black has already ignited conversations, debates, and expectations. If the rumors hold true, the Raiders' passing game may be on the brink of a long-awaited transformation. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.